Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
Skye Squad, we are back in the building. Oh yes, we got a little news update for you guys, so we're gonna get right down into the get down. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys hit that notification bell button, subscribe, and like this video, okay? Now let's go ahead and stage dive into what we gotta talk about today, because we talking about Michael Darby. We talking about Malaysia Pargo, but first things first, we're going to get into the Michael Darby situation because BravoTV.com has released the previews for next week's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac, and it is indeed the finale. Oh, yes. Let me tell you something. I am so ready for this season to be over. Now, don't get me wrong. Y'all know Potomac is lit. It is lit, it is lit, it is lit, but I feel like this has been the longest season ever, okay? And I'm ready to start fresh and new, okay? Ready to start something fresh and new. And we talked about this yesterday briefly, what's really going down. And this really has to do with Robyn and Juan, okay? Now, this past episode, Karen Huger talked about how Robyn need to be looking more concerned about what Juan be saying when he be, drinking, okay? Because, Robyn had asked Karen, if she wasn't drinking around the ladies because she was concerned about what she might say when she might drink, okay? So, that prompted, apparently, some people were saying that Robyn was saying that Juan doesn't drink, but then he did have a drink when they went and they did the dress up night at the bar when she came in as when they was doing the role play. Y'all remember that? So I don't know, but what I do know is this: Michael Darby knows something. Okay, in the preview, we got Ashley basically talking about how Candace was upset because Ashley had written the statement. And Michael Darby's basically not really feeling Candace. He ain't really feeling Chris Bassett either, okay? Based on what they're talking about in the episode, Ashley's like, I just wish I could flick them both away. But it gets more interesting to me, and we're going to touch on that a little bit more in just one second, because there's obviously in the preview clip, we see Chris Bassett and Michael Darby going at it, which we talked about last year when the event was actually filmed. So we're going to get into that in just one second. But first things first, let's get into the Robyn and Juan situation. So obviously Karen knows something about Robyn and Juan, or at least what Juan be saying when he be, inebriated, okay? So Michael goes on to say when Ashley tells him that Juan is going to propose to Robyn because, Giselle had told her, he goes on to say, no, that's not going to happen. Nope, I know that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. And he is adamant about it. So Ashley is like, oh, well, what's the deal? I mean, what's going on? Tell me. I'm your wife. Tell me what's going on. What do you know? And he's like, nah, I already said too much. I already said too much. I done said too much now, okay? So I'm going to tell you right now, number one, Michael, you done broke that G code, okay? You done broke that G code, because the G code is you don't repeat nothing that goes on, locker room talk or whatever. You don't repeat nothing that, that your homeboys or your homegirls got going on, especially to somebody that's connected to their significant other, okay? Especially when it could be detrimental to that relationship, right? So Michael is, he's trying to backpedal, whoop, 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 whoop. But he like, I know something. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, now you can't pay me enough money to think that he did not tell her when the cameras went down, okay? Because I needs to know, what do you know that we don't know? Because Karen know too, okay? And I bet your bottom dollar with the way that all those other ladies were looking when Karen said that to Robyn, I bet you they know something too, or they didn't at least heard something, because the streets do talk. The streets do talk. Which leads me into a further discussion about, these reality shows and these relationships. I personally, I have a hard time sometimes looking at the situation with like Giselle and Pastor Jamal as being real. I try to suspend what I have seen on the streets and what I have seen in the news about all of these other different situations, and I try to look at it as though it's really happening, right? Because I want to be in the spirit of the show. But then I also got to be in the spirit of real, okay? I got to be in the spirit of real. And in the spirit of real, I be like, I don't believe this for 1 second. This seems to me very I need a storyline. And I just hate that. I hate that so much. I hate this idea of a reality television star feeling like they need a storyline. And I want to tell you guys one thing right now. There's a difference between storyline and a story, okay? A person who has a good personal story is something that is very intriguing that's already going on in their lives. A storyline, it's what's plotted out and thought out that we can bring out on national television and follow in hopes that it leads to something, okay? That is a storyline, and then there is story. Some people have a good personal story, and some people have a good storyline. I just wanted to clear that up because I know that could be a little bit of a thing for some people. But I want to go back a little bit. I want to go back. So in the preview, you know, we're also going to see, okay, now we saw this in the preview clip for Sunday's episode, okay? We're also going to see Michael Darby and Kris Bassett getting into it in what looks to be some type of physical altercation in some way, shape, or form. Now, it's definitely hard to tell based on the camera angle if actually Kris Bassett connected with Michael Darby, but it looked like he was pushing him or something to that effect. I don't really know. All I do know is that we are in for another physical altercation this season, okay? And I really want to hear what you guys have to say about that, especially for the people that were like, oh no, nobody should be physical, nobody should be physical, nobody should be physical. I want to hear what you got to say about it, okay? I want to hear if your stance is still the same, okay? Moving right along, we got to talk about Malaysia, Pargo. I had meant to talk about this story earlier, but with the holidays and everything going on, it was just like, it was only so much I could do. Okay, so let's talk about it. Malaysia Pargo posted a photo of herself in this knockout Versace robe, okay? She is looking like a stunner, okay? Now, when I saw it, I was like, dang, Malaysia look good. I mean, you know, obviously, you know, let's call a spade a spade. She looked amazing in that photo, right? Comment in the chat below if you saw this. Now, a lot of people was confusing her with DJRichieSkye. Okay, in this photograph, they thought that she was DJRichieSkye. Everybody was commenting on it, which way. It was all over the net. You could not escape it over the weekend, okay? And I was thinking to myself, now I don't think that looked like DJRichieSkye. But I mean, I could see it a little bit. But it ain't something I've never seen DJRichieSkye do, so I ain't really think it was her, right? So anyway, Malaysia goes viral over this whole situation, and finally she makes a comment. She says, when you see me with what I pray for, know that I was patient. Now that was the first post that she made in regards to that. Now, after everybody had posted it, she actually posted again, okay? Basically making reference to the fact that, okay, you know, shout out to my sis Jill, you know, yada, yada, yada. But she took it the right way. She did the right thing. She acknowledged it. She was in on it and she enjoyed it. And she even big up DJRichieSkye. So to me, I was like, you know what? Classy. Let me know what your thoughts were about this situation. That was just a little something fun and light, you know, that I figured I'd talk about. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell button and I will catch you in the next video.